Hello and welcome to another video. So today's video, I got this team here, which is definitely inspired by Zerfalros's team that he had. He used Jellison over Swampert, so that's the change I made though. So Swampert's my favorite mud boy, as with the previous video that I from my Go Battle Day sets that I showcased earlier. But yeah, let's get right into this video, or the battles, I should say. Yeah, went on a nice 15-10 run today, doing all 5 sets. All right, terrible lead. Gotta swap out right away into Developer if the game lets me. Ha 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 ha. Right, we're gonna start building up. I'm gonna go for the Weather Ball because they're not swapping out. And they let it go. All right, Ludicolo, they're probably waiting for me to dump some energy. And I will go for Hurricane. I might as well get the guaranteed shield or knock it out. Totally fine. I will be coming back in with Berserker. And this is the team that Zionic and Tho Tactical ran on Go Battle Day or recently, whatever, it's going to be a torpedo in the back, and I will be totally fine. I do shield the Leaf Storm. It would still hurt like a truck, and Berserker's on the glassier side. Maybe a tad more bulkier than Lucario, but it's still pretty glassy. And then I use a Dark Pulse. I knock out the Mawile. We're going to go for another Dark Pulse. And once I swap out, they should know the game's over because, I'm going to outpace them to the Hydro Cannon. And, yep, that is a good game. Very well played to my opponent. Couldn't find a moving sprite with Berserker, so not sure why it wasn't there on the site I was using. So if you got a site that you definitely recommend for sprites, please let me know in the comments. All right, Scavalier, terribly, we're going to swap right away into Pelipper. On occasion I have swapped into Swampert, but I actually do this intending to bring out Lantern so my Swampert can farm down if I can get it low enough, or, at least farm up, maybe launch a Hydro Cannon if needed. So definitely want to farm down. You do not need to throw energy whatsoever. You will survive with typically about at least a third of solid 25% of your HP roughly. I do come in with Swampert. Do I shield this? I kind of wanted to test for science, and I'm like, let me shield. They got the energy, and plus they did a spark, so they held their energy just to be sure they didn't blind throw the thunder. And then they come back in with the Scavalier, which is good for me. I need to keep this off my Berserker. I will be throwing Hydro Cannons, and then they should be going for a move soon. All right, CMP tie. And then Drill Run. Okay, yeah, it's over. I was banking on them going for an Acid Spray. 'Twas not meant to be. So that is a good game to my opponent. Very well played. Alrighty, Ferrothorn, very positive lead, but they swap in the Jelly. Pelipper can handle the Ferrothorn pretty decently, and Swampert with an Earthquake advantage, if it can land an Earthquake, can actually do decently on Ferrothorn. So we're going to stay in with the Berserker, go for Foul Plays. Do we make it? Nope, they shield, not surprising. I go for another Foul Play. And I think they shielded me earlier with the Bubble Beam. I do decide to shield again, and they bait me with a frickin' Bubble Beam. Ah! I am terrible with these Bubble Beam baits, lol! Right, coming in, I obviously have to let this go. I'm out of shields. They will go for another Bubble Beam. Why did they not go for Shadow Ball? Do not know. But I will be able to go for another Earthquake. They will definitely get to another Power Whip before I get to the next Earthquake, so they should be throwing it. But I am going to go for the Earthquake, and they let me get there. They definitely got greedy. You want to throw before they get to the Earthquake. So farming up to the Earthquake, definitely smart. Until I get to the Earthquake, but yeah, I definitely should have thrown the Power Whip before I got to the Earthquake. So coming with Pelipper, because I don't want Wishcash to farm me down unless I totally lost track. Yep, didn't want them to farm down. Alright, they come in with Jellicent, totally fine. I did want to hit with a Weather Ball, try to take it out. They do survive with a bit of HP. They will likely hit me with the Bubble Beam, which is okay. It means I can get a little more farm. And it probably didn't affect it. It would have been 2 wing attacks anyway, I think. So, going for another Weather Ball here. I'm one short of a foul play, I believe, on the Berserker. They'll go for a Mud Bomb, taking me out, and then I bring in Berserker. Yeah, one way, and that is going to be a good game to my opponent. Very well played. But yeah, definitely the mistake on the opponent's side was not throwing the Power Whip unless they maybe mistimed the fast move or overtap. Overtapping can happen. I've done that before. So sometimes, it's just a accidental mistake, unintended. All right, let's get into the next battle here. All right, there we go. Cutting ahead a bit. All right, Berserker versus Ferrothorn, another positive lead. Right, they're going to swap out likely Escavaliers, so definitely going to swap into Pelipper. So there's definitely a case to be running Mega Horn. My Escavalier I've done in previous videos or sets has been running Acid Spray, which is what Yonkis and Tactical have done in their respective videos. But yeah, so Mega Horn is definitely a harder hitting move, and if they want to double shield, I believe they can farm down, actually, provided they double shield the Weather Balls. Weather Balls, oh my gosh. So they come back in with Ferrothorn, I go for the Hurricane, and then they farm down, not surprising. I do come back in with Berserker, and then it's a Swampert. There is a case to be made I should have swapped to my Swampert right away, even though I'd be behind on energy most likely anyway. I am going to be going for an Earthquake here because I need to get this Swampert out of here as low as possible, hoping they don't shield. I do have to throw my own shield as I don't think I was at the Earthquake. I was, but they might have won CMB tie, not totally sure. Going for the Earthquake, and yes, we get it low. And then I go for a Hydro Cannon. This should be getting the shield. There is no reason not to shield. They do shield, and they do farm down. And then I do decide to no shield this in case they were baiting, and also I can live a Thunder, which happens, and then they know it's over. They surrender. Good game to my opponent. Alrighty then. Hopping into the last battle of this first set here we have. Oh my god. Who is next? Be honest, I'm not always looking at the names when I'm recording, so... Oh my gosh, it's Tactical. Hello! Alright, another Ferrothorn. Great lead. Alright, we're gonna swap into Pelipper against his Shadow Gyarados, so he's definitely running the spice here. Shadow Gyarados, and it's a waterfall, so that's definitely better for my Pelipper here, and I'm able to shield the Crunch, thank the Lord. So, I am gonna go for this Weather Ball and farm down. Thankfully, they don't get to another move. They come in with Lantern, which is totally not surprising. Tho can just farm down here. Got off the Hurricane here. We'll try to go for Weather Ball, but just missed it. All right, we'll bring in the Swampert, I believe. Yep, definitely should be bringing in the Swampert. All right, so I will let this go, as I need to protect and keep my shield. They go for the Hydro Pump, and I predicted him swapping into Ferrothorn, so I simultaneous blind swap into Berserker. Maybe not so much a blind swap, but you get my point. So I am going to go for these Foul Plays as I don't want to debuff me just yet. I am able to shield the Thunder, which is fantastic. I'm going to go another Foul Play here, and then hopefully with a little luck, go for a close combat, and I make it. Whew, that was definitely a huge part in this game, and I'm able to knock him out, and then I can get to a Foul Play, and it's over. He knows it. That's why he top left. So good game, Tho. Very well played. I didn't even realize it was you in the moment here. I was just like looking away at my screen for a bit. Alrighty, so that was the first set, going 4-1. Alrighty, we got the second set here. Let's get going. Righty, we got Berserker vs. Mawile. At least it's not Shadow, but still a bad lead. We're going to swap into Pelipper straight away. They come with Credilli, so actually using a fossil Pokemon. Love to see it. Niantic, take notes when you're making cuts. Maybe naming this fossil cut wasn't the best idea because Credilli is the only fossil that actually has reasonable play in this meta. Otherwise, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's the most... of all the actual fossil Pokemon, it's the one I've seen the most. Alrighty, gonna shield this. It is a Stone Edge, so thankfully I shield this. So I am down to shield, but I'm able to get some energy here. They come with Ferrothorn, which is not surprising, and I'm just gonna go straight for the Hurricane. If they shield, great. If they don't, totally fine. And they don't shield, so this is low. I will totally let this go. So as long as I can get the Ferrothorn lower, but... They come in with Mawile, I bring in my Swampert, and it's a good game. They know it's over. Very well played to my opponent, because, yeah. Alrighty, let's get into the next battle here. Alrighty, here we go. Lantern. Alright, so neutral lead. Definitely get us off my Pelipper, and they bring in Quagsire. I was assuming Swampert, though, not gonna lie, kind of forgetting Stone Edge Quagsire exists. I do survive one Stone Edge from a regular Quagsire, so that's why I don't shield. And they have to do a Mud Shot down, as I will shield the next Stone Edge. if I have to. Though I'm granted the goal is to get 2 weather balls off before they get to the next stone edge. So they do barely make it. I will let this go as I can just farm down, as they will likely not bring in the I'm assuming they will not bring the lantern in. When they bring in Lucario. So I will go for this close combat here. And alright, we get the last shield, not surprising. I do have 2 shields. I was thinking they were going to go for the Shadow Ball, which I had to respect. They go for Pup, which is totally fine. And I am farming up, and I do shield again, because the Pup would actually do some decent damage. I do manage to go for the Hydro Cannon, which is great for me. So now I can just keep aligned with this Lantern here. Right, yeah, going for the final Hydro Cannon to take Lucario out. And then it is a race to the Earthquake, which, oh yeah, they should be energy dry, so I will make it to this Earthquake in time, and that's going to be a good game to my opponent. Very well played. Alrighty then. Right, let's get to the next battle here. Right, Swampert, terrible lead. We're going to swap into my own Swampert to do the mirror. There's a shadow, so definitely 2 Hydro Cans will be more than enough with the Mud Shots to take me out here. Don't even need the Mud Shots. Pelipper, so I will be throwing Hydro Cannons here. Hopefully you should be able to get 2 off here. Get the 2 off, so and if they're smart, they'll farm me down. So, alrighty then, let's get to it. In the next matchup, we're going to bring in the Berserker, as I don't want this thing on the Swampert. I will let the first Weather Ball go through. They will likely be able to get to a second. Not likely, I know they will. I will shield that one up. I will be at a foul play, so I can definitely launch this on Swampert. This should get a shield. Then I'm going to swap into Pelipper. Not really catching, if anything, but I was trying to farm up a little bit here. Alright then, we are going to go for the Weather Ball here. This should bring the Shadow Swampert very low, if not knock it out. It brings it low. Okay, and they might have a move stored. I got to keep that in mind. Alrighty, so, wait. I think they were short, but always better to assume that they might have a move if you can save the shield here. So gonna go for another Weather Ball, but they throw, totally fine. My win con is Berserker, clearly. I just have to be careful of the sack, and hopefully they swap where the Shadow Claw can transfer onto Swampert. I do go for a close combat, because at this point, like, I don't even want to try baiting here. Alrighty, I do sneak in, which is perfect, and then Swampert might be coming back in soon. And perfect. I survived with 1 HP, more than 1 HP, but close enough. And I got the double close combat, so that is a good game to my opponent. Very well played. Bang, let's go. Alrighty, let's get into the next match here. Mawile, terrible lead. We're going to swap into that Pelipper right away. They come in with Jellicent. Totally fine by me. I will most likely soft lose this matchup and come in and farm down with Berserker and probably get a shield back at them. So I might go down shield advantage-wise, but that's okay. Alright, we're just going to go for this Hurricane. If they shield, great. If they don't, totally fine. But now I can go for Weather Ball if they don't go for the Bubble Beam. But I will totally let them Bubble Beam me. They very likely will get to another Bubble Beam. Yep, definitely will get to another Bubble Beam on my Berserker. But that's okay, because I can totally tank a Bubble Beam on Berserker. And I am able to farm down, so even better. We simultaneously swap, so this is Wish Cash. I do go for an Earthquake, as they are likely not to shield, as usually we're going straight Hydro Cannon, but I want some farm on the Berserker potentially, so as likely Swampert won't get that much play against the Wish Cash. So, gonna go for this Hydro Cannon. They shield, totally fine by me. Mud Bomb again. I do try to go for another Hydro Cannon, and I just make it. And that, I'm like, ooh. And that, as you can see, most likely, I should have probably gone for just the straight Hydro Cannon and not the Earthquake, as that likely cost me the game. I could still have lost, but definitely going 2 Hydro Cannons is the better way to go. I was just hoping Earthquake could do a little more damage. So, you know, things to note for next time. But good game to my opponent. Very well played. Right, on to the next match. Melmetal. So, I definitely have the long-term advantage, even though I might still lose, just because the Shadow Claws are wrecking. But if they go for Superpower, that will definitely, you know, lower the defenses, so Shadow Claw will even chunk more. I do go for Foul Play, And I managed to bait, which is perfect. Bait-ish, whatever. Go for the close combat, and I will let, and then since they shield, I'm just going to let Berserker go down. I will bring in the Swampert, no problem, and then, they will likely swap, and if I need to, swap into my Pelipper. They're going to farm up some more, which is definitely smart on them. They are definitely trying to stall the switch clock. Well, I don't know why, because that was a debuff superpower. Alright, so I'm going to go for this Earthquake to do some chip damage. Alrighty, so we're going to go for this Hydro Cannon, hopefully get a shield in return. And I don't, but I am able to take it out. Oh, wait, they didn't have shields. My bad. I will shield this up, and it is the first superpower, so this is huge. This was my mistake. I definitely miscounted by one. I should have caught this onto the Pelipper. As you're going to see, it is a Lantern, and that is a good gain to my opponent. Very well played. So I should have just top left right away, but I was just like, what? I think I was just like in shock. So, yep, good gain to my opponent. Very well played. Oh, Mewtwo! Not the best I've used, though. Alright, into the third set here. Berserker versus Escavalier. Terrible lead. We're going to swap into Swampert, I believe. Yep. There we go. And they come in with Jellicent. So, definitely a neutral matchup, but more of a loss column for Swampert. So, going for the Earthquake, and I get a shield, which is totally fine. Swampert has done its job to get a shield. They go for Shadow Ball. Hopefully I can get to another Earthquake, which I do. So either I get both shields or I'm able to chunk the Jellicent low, which definitely the smarter choice is to only shield one of them and not both. I will come in with Berserker. I want to say, I think I shield, and I'm not even sure if they were out of Shadow Ball. They bait me. Terrible with the baits again. So definitely farming down again. They do get to another Bubble Beam. That was a Shadow Ball. So, not good, and that's a top left situation. So good game to my opponent. I just got hard countered there at the end there. Ouch. I haven't watched the video yet, but Kellum on Toast, recently uploaded a video where he was running a triple water flyer team. So I'm not sure what the lead was, but the three mons he used were Gyarados, probably the Shadow variant would be my guess. Don't know the moveset. And then Mantine and Pelipper. And now I'm like, this madman, but he ran that Attack Deoxys, Sharpedo, and Alakazam team, so, it's okay. Alright, Scavalier, we're going to go into Pelipper. They come in with Jellicent. Again, I switched it up a couple times with the Scavalier lead, which I'd say swap. So, Shadow Ball, we're going to go for this Hurricane here. Again, I know I'm not going to do any shields here because I'm going to probably lose this anyway, unless the opponent's a madman and doesn't shield two Hurricanes for whatever reason. And so, yeah. Alrighty, we're going to come with Berserker and farm down. I have been noticing that a lot of people are going for a Bubble Beam if they build to 7 or 8, so I've been noticing that. So this time I do shield. So I called the bait this time correctly. Hallelujah. This is definitely another Bubble Beam, so I will let's go through, allows me more farm, and I can swap into Swampert right away to get the debuff. And I'm at double foul play. I guess I go for the close combat. I'm at basically 100 energy, so I might as well get a move off, have room for more energy later. So I do come in, I will go for a Hydro Cannon, but they try to catch on the Lantern, so I'm able to hold it and get an Earthquake here. And this should be a good game. Yep, they let it go, so that's a good game to my opponent, very well played, as I have moves loaded, and I can just save the shield for Berserker, and yeah, they know it, that's why they let it go. So very well played to my opponent. So with the first two sets, we are 7-3. Let's see how we do after this third set here. All right, Jellicent lead, very positive for me. Do they swap out? I'll be honest, I think there's at least a couple more of these lead matchups down the line. Jellicents were staying in, and I'm just like, I can't remember what the backline was. Obviously, sometimes you have to stay in. I totally get that. But it just seems so weird that, many were staying in. So, yeah, they clearly got a Bubble Beam on me. I do shield up this next move, and it's another Bubble Beam. So, at least I called the bait the first time. I will go for a foul play. They do let it go. It is double debuff. I think this is another Bubble Beam. Yep, totally fell for the bait again. Probably if I was counting, probably wouldn't have happened. All right, they come with Lucario. I come in with Pelipper to draw out their, other mon, whatever it is. It is Registeel, so not the worst thing ever. As I have some play here, I can come in with Berserker or Swampert. So there's play here, but I have to manage my energy and time things right very, very carefully. Good news is I can take a Focus Blast onto Swampert, no problem. I go for the first Focus Blast, or not Focus Blast, Close Combat. Okay, and then I have to survive a Shadow Ball here. Do I? I do not. So that is a good... I top left there. So that is a good game to my opponent very well played. Doesn't look like it has much play as I thought I did in hindsight. So, alrighty, let's hop into the next match here. Right, Berserker versus Pelipper. So, neutral lead, Pelipper will outpace, so it is slightly in favor of Pelipper in terms of, like, even shield situations. I will let the first Weather Ball go through. I am trying to sneak so I can, like, keep pace in theory. So, yep, this is definitely a CMP tie if they throw, because that was another 5. Right, they definitely... Alrighty. I decided to let this go. Pelipper's low enough. I can farm down before they get to a Hurricane, so this is only a Weather Ball. Don't need to shield. Right, we farmed down, so we got some good energy here, and it's already steal, so I swap in with Swampert. And then I am going to be shielding this up, as I need to preserve health on my Swampert. I should be shielding. There we go. They bait me with Zap Cannon, which is unfortunate, but it's SCAV, so it would have been better. Not the worst thing ever, because those counters were going to add up, actually. I do have to shield this again. Swampert's my win con, so I have to protect my Swampert. I do shield, and I need to also come out with energy to try to stay ahead before the Focus Blast, because the Focus Blast will take me out. Oh, and that's smart on them. So, I do have to bait here. I have no choice. They have every reason to shield. And then I come in. I do have 2 Weather Balls, so if I can get the shield before their last shield, before they take me out, the Pelipper, this is huge. That is definitely a huge potential win con here. And I'm low enough, and they did shield, so I should have enough for a Hydro Cannon. Oh, they did a nice undercharge here, so good game. Wow, this is a good game. The opponent's very smart, because they still had their shield. I lost track. My fault. Alrighty then, so I get to the Weather Ball last second. Weather Ball, not lather. Weather. Let's go. We take out the Registeel. Pelipper, Registeel counter confirmed. Let's go. Oh, that was so satisfying. So, alrighty then. They were definitely smart on my opponent to go for the Focus Blast and maybe a slight undercharge and go for the Farm Nut. Alright, Berserker versus Poliwrath. Not a good matchup. We're going to go into Swampert, as it's not really a counter, but it's not the hard counter that Pelipper is. I will shield out this first Dynamic Punch. I will be going for a bait of my own, so hopefully I can get a shield, but thankfully a Hydro Cannon on a Shadow Poliwrath actually does decent damage. I should know. I ran it myself, the first team I ran in the Fossil Cup rotation here. I will let the second Dynamic Punch go through, and I will get the 2 Hydro Cannons. They do sneak in. I am worried I will be taken out with that Mudshot. Hopefully not. Oh, and they do sneak in. That will take me out. They'll either have to shield, or hopefully this takes it out, and it does, so we take Switch. And that was huge, because Politoed has a great matchup against Berserker. So we can come with Pelipper, they come with Lantern, so yep. They were happy to get my Swampert out of the way, so this is not over, but I will just be going for foul plays here, as I don't want to debuff myself. Right, CMP tie, which is their CMP tie, totally smart on them. Oh, I do decide to shield, and it was a Thunder, so I'm like, ooh, can I get to a 3rd foul play before they get to their next move? And I can, apparently. I'm not sure about Spark to Thunder counts, but I got there. So, bang, and then Politoed has to throw a move. Shadow, this should be taking out the Berserker. Alright, and then Pelipper, and I want to say he should be able to survive a Blizzard, but they go for Weather Ball right away, so I'm like, okay, I got this game in the bag. That's a good game to my opponent. If you had Blizzard, buddy, you definitely should have been going for Blizzard. I think that, yeah, they didn't have Blizzard, that's why they just did that. So, good game to my opponent, very well played. So, another 3-2 set there, and a boring Nianfu. Alright, we got set number 4 here. It's currently 10-5 right now. Alrighty, going for foul play right as they get to the Shadow Ball, so they will likely shield this. Okay, there's 6, so I think I don't shield, and they go for a Bubble Beam bait, so good, no shield on my part. They go for, do I shield? Another Bubble Beam, okay. I go for another foul play. This might not be taking it out, because this is a double debuff foul play that does not get stabbed. Okay, it does. I swap in my Pelipper right away. Kind of questionable, but I also don't know what they have in the bag. I just need to clear that debuff on the Berserker, as it should be able to get a couple moves off on the Registeel. Right, I will let this go. Saving shields for Berserker and Swampert in the back there. Who do I come in with? Swampert here. Okay, yeah, Berserker has low health. Alright, it's a Ferrothorn. So, good of me not to come in with Berserker quite yet. I do go for a Hydro Cannon to get some chip damage on here and stall the clock. And I'm able to come in. I do go for the close combat here. And they do let it go, which is fine by me, because I will let this go. Swampert's my win con. I will save both shields for Swampert here. The bullet seeds are kind of chunking, though. Obviously, I'm going to shield this. Power Up will take out, like, a handful of Swamperts at the very least. So, yeah, we farm down, and this is game over. I got an Earthquake ready to go. Good game to my opponent. Very well played. Alrighty, we got the next match coming up here. Alright, whoops, pardon, a little slow there, I guess. Right, there we go. Sorry about that. Right, Ferrothorn lead. Very good for me. They swap into Swampert, or Quagsire. Man, I'm so used to assuming Swampert. This is not their open greatly, okay? Alright, I'm going to let the Stonage go through. If it was Shadow, definitely would need to shield. As you can see, 20% more. Definitely would knock out a Pelipper there. I purified a Wooper because I wanted to save dust. So, sad face. Alrighty, let's see. Alrighty, knocked out the Quagsire. We're in even shields. Ferrothorn will get a nice farm, though. I do get to a Weather Ball last second, so this will be some nice chip damage. I do have to be mindful of Ferrothorn's Thunder on the Berserker. And they come in with their own Swampert, so I will stay in, get a foul play going, and then bring in my own Swampert. But this looks... There's the same two made. I should have swapped out right away. Right, I will be going for Hydro Cannons here, as I need farm on my Berserker. Not surprising that I lose CMP tie. Hello, I do have a 1 IV, so... Alrighty, going for a Hydro Cannon, and this does get it low, so I want Berserker to farm down. This is good. This is good. Right, and this is... Alright, so... I should be able to win this. They go for Thunder, so that's good. I will go for the foul play here. Get the last shield, hopefully. I do. Okay, this is going to be another Thunder. The question is, do I live it? And unfortunately, I don't know what happened if the game lagged, but that's a good game to my opponent. Very well played. Oh, look, a glitch happened. Woohoo! At least I lost, so it wouldn't have mattered. I hate how, like, I'm seeing people, like, they'll lose battles they clearly won, and it's just, like, the game not working. So, next match, Jelly lead, and they're staying in, which is fine by me. Berserker's my best counter to Jellison. So, definitely will be going for foul plays here before they get to a Shadow Ball. They let it go, which is huge. Alright, Escavaliers, I will come in with Pelipper. Great secondary matchup for me. I will let this go through. Definitely not as high of an attack IV, I think, for that Escavalier, because I think the others we've seen, at least one of them, did more damage. Unless I forgot it took more damage from Jelly before it swapped out or something. Not totally sure. I take out the Escavalier. They come in with... Who do they come in with? Jelly? Yep, they were low enough. I could totally go for the Weather Ball. And it's a CMB tie. Fantastic. Righty, so we'll totally bring in Berserker again. And they come in with Lucario, so I will go for a close combat. And then swap right away into my Swampert. And that's game over. I do shield this up. I don't want to get hit by a Shadow Ball. It's a pup, though, so good bait on my opponent. But, yeah, Berserker's got this in the bag. I will save the shield now, because Hydro Cannon will get it low, or knock it out in this case. Bang! Let's go. And I can just let this go, as a Shadow Claw will take out the Berserker, but I can Mud Shot down. So, good game to my opponent. Very well played. Alright, let's get into the next match here. Escavalier, terrible lead. We're going to swap right away here into, I choose Pelipper this time. And we got the Lantern. So, if they're smart, they will definitely spark all the way down. And then I go for the Hurricane. Hopefully I can get to a Weather Ball. I should be able to. And I do. So, nice chip damage overall from Pelipper. So, Pelipper putting in some work on the Lantern. I will bring in Swampert. I am going to bank this time. I believe this is a match on the fact that they go for a Blind Thunder. and they throw right away, so I'm thinking this is a Thunderbolt. Not Thunder, but, you know, electric type move, and I'm able to call the bait. I do shield this up. It is another Thunderbolt, so I am farming up. I decided to farm down, and I'm like, this has clearly got to be a Thunderbolt. So when you look at that, I'm glad I shielded one of them, as two of them would have taken me out with those sparks. So they bring back in. Who do they bring back in? Jelly. I go for the Earthquake. I will go. Ooh, I bring in Berserker again. Not. That was questionable. Like, I had to dance around at some point, being down a shield. Okay, they go for the Drill Run. Yeah, it's a top left situation. I had to hope for an Acid Spray, like the one of the battles in the first set there. So, good game to my opponent. Very well played. Hopping into the last match for this fourth set here. Right, Jelly lead. Very positive. Alrighty, they are staying in. Fine by me. We'll definitely go for the foul plays here. I get the shield, they go for Swampert, I swap into Pelipper. So, definitely more favorable for Pelipper. Shadow Swampert can put up a fight on Pelipper, y'all. Like, let me just say that right now. Shadow Swampert has play against Pelipper, okay? 2 Hydro Cannons will take out. It really comes down to who wants to shield more. But Hydro Cannons hurt Pelipper from a Shadow Swampert. I'm going to go for another Weather Ball. I will shield this up and farm down. That way I can keep alignment and we are even shields. Plus, I will have a boatload of energy. So I should be able to survive any one move, or 2 turns enough to get to them to move. And they come with Therathorn, and I'm going to go for the Hurricane. So, yay! Alrighty, I bring back in Berserker, as I want to get, don't want to get farmed down. I do go for a foul play. I have to call the bait here, and I do. Because if I can't win with Berserker, I gotta win with Swampert, so that's gonna be troublesome. They go for another Bubble Beam bait. Like, why? I mean, they could be single moved, but it's just like, don't recommend it on Jelly. Alrighty, and then I have enough for the close combat. They know it, and they surrender. So, good game to my opponent. Very well played. So, let's see, this set. Another 3-2. So, yeah, let's get to the last set here.